Hi Scorpio, welcome to your February 2018 reading. I'm Hannah from Spiritual Tarot. Today we are going to look at the month ahead and just see what kind of energies are working in your life. So if you're single or married or young or old, doesn't matter because this reading is for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull a card from the Animal Spirit deck. And this deck is beautiful and great just for kind of personal reflection. So what we're really going to be doing today is just finding one card that is just going to tell us what animal is working in your life throughout this month and what lesson you are going to be kind of just needing to work on as you go through the month of February. So Scorpio, for Scorpio, what animal has a message for us in February? Oh, okay, spider. Alright, you guys have spider. And one of the other signs got tarantula, so seems to be a popular animal coming through the arachnid family. Okay, so spider is part of the earth element. Let's read, and I'm just going to read right from this. I just want to kind of impart the card's wisdom directly to you guys, okay? So spider, creator of prosperity through life's work, dharma. The spider is an ingenious creator. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of dharma into vast, intricate webs that support the spiders and those around them, both financially and spiritually. It is hard work, but the spider neither tires nor becomes impatient. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be process-oriented rather than results-oriented, and soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry. Abundance flows. It's really good. So I think that maybe some of you Scorpios may be feeling the weight of your responsibilities coming into this month. You're feeling like, you know, there's a lot riding on the work that you're doing. And I also think that some of you guys are maybe kind of resenting the work that you have to do. You're not like enjoying the process of it. Maybe you don't like your job. It could be a lot more complicated than that, though. You know, maybe you just are looking at your life and you just don't know how you got to where you are right now, with like tons of responsibilities on your plate. And I think spider might be a really good guide for you this month to kind of remember that there's beauty in the work that you're doing, and that there's really you know, that you are doing this for a reason, that there's a purpose to the work that you're doing. I really love that the colors, it kind of is all encompassing. I think we are probably going to see that throughout your reading, that, you know, it's going to be about balancing all the chakras. What I've been doing for everybody's readings is also pulling a chakra card to kind of figure out what chakra you need to balance. And I think for you guys, it's going to be less about balancing just one chakra that may be out of alignment, and really about the bigger picture, bringing, you know, all aspects of your life together in harmony, and you know, not letting one aspect of your life dictate the other things. So yeah, I think that's where we're starting out today. Okay, let's pull out my tarot cards. I'm using the Golden Universal Tarot. And let's see where Scorpio is starting out the month of February. I know it's already the first week of February. I'm really trying to get all these readings out on time, but that hasn't been happening. Anyways, so yeah, where are we in this first week of February for Scorpio? Scorpio. I really like that spider card. I think it has a really great message kind of associated with it. Scorpio. Okay, so we have Justice as the first card to come out. So I'm seeing definitely balance as being kind of an issue to start. This is also a Libra card, so this could be a Libra who's close to you. Oops. And then we have the King of Cups. So already we have two leaders who are very, very different people. The Justice, Lady Justice, she's all about, you know, balancing the heart and the mind. Okay, we have three. So now we have the King of Wands. So I feel like you guys, some of you Scorpios are being pulled in a couple different directions. I think some of you, this Justice card is you. I think you're trying to choose between your head and your heart a little bit. Because, you know, we have two kings coming up who are very different. And the King of Cups, he's, you know, dark and deep and moody. He is very Scorpio. In a lot of ways. He feels the weight of his responsibilities, but he can be more, he's a little more unpredictable, I guess. I feel like people don't really know what's going through his mind. He's kind of like one of those kings who's a little bit of a recluse. I think that he, especially with this deck, in this deck, he's a little dark. He has like that kind of look about him, you know, that he's been through a lot, he's seen a lot, he's lost a lot, and he kind of, I get like a sense of loneliness from him. I get a sense that he has secrets. I get a sense that, you know, he does things out of love, but he also can be extremely destructive, and he can kind of like, he can rationalize things because he's a king, and you know, he may sacrifice a lot because of it. And then I also tend to describe the King of Wands as a guy who or a person who also feels the weight of his responsibilities, but I think that's because he cares so much, and I think it's because he will always do what's right. So I think that's like the biggest difference, is that the King of Wands to me feels like the person that is always going to be serving justice, you know? He's always going to do what's right because it's truly like leading is what he's passionate about. The wands are all about fire energy. It's about being passionate. And so he's always going to do what's right. He's always going to be the good king, you know, and that still is a lot of stress. That still is a lot of pressure, and it still makes decision making very hard. But at the end of the day, you know, the King of Wands is still leading with his head. He's much more in line with justice than I think the King of Cups is. He's a little bit more of a wild card. I think that you don't really know exactly what he's going to do. I think that he sees the gray area because it's emotions, and that's what he knows, that's what he's good at, and so nothing is black and white to him. So the next two cards that we had come out were let's see, we had the Ace of Swords and the Nine of Swords. So this is indicating to me, what did I just do? Okay. So for some of you guys, this is like a stressful decision that needs to be made. And, you know, if it is like deciding between two people, that's one thing. I feel like that's been kind of a theme that's been coming up a lot in my readings. I also have talked a little bit in my other videos about Valentine's Day. I think that, you know, everyone kind of has love on their mind, even if like they normally wouldn't. So I think that, you know, there's just something in the air. So we have the Nine of Swords, which I tend to see as a great anxiety, something that's keeping you up at night, something that's really weighing on your mind so you can't sleep, or like your worst fear. And then the Ace of Swords is the opposite. That's really, you know, once again talking about justice, you know, kind of, it's your ideals, really. It's really, you know, what you believe to be. Okay, and we also have the Ace of Cups. So we're seeing a lot of juxtapositions here. We have two aces and two kings. And then, you know, we have Lady Justice, and she's all about balance. And so I think for some of you guys, you're really struggling this month with head versus heart. So, you know, it's kind of clear as day. It's like, wow, you guys, like, you really have like two options in front of you, and you can't really. I think that this is what's keeping you up at night. You have a head versus heart situation, and one side of it is what your heart really wants. It makes you happy. It fulfills some kind of emotional need, because we have the Ace of Cups. So like, this is the end all be all. Like, this is what your heart really believes right now is what's going to make you happy. And then the Ace of Wands or the Ace of Swords is your ideals. So it's what's kind of holding you back, because you're like, you know, I really feel strongly about, you know, not compromising my ideals in this situation. So let's look at the end of February, like, so mid to end, because I kind of want to fast forward and see what is going to happen in this scenario. I feel like this is a situation you guys are in right now. I feel like this is a situation that maybe you've been dealing with for a little while. This doesn't, so like, in a way, it kind of doesn't feel like this is news to you. I feel like, you know, this is a good idea of what has been going on in your life, but I really want to kind of look at. So we have the Five of Pentacles, and we have the Seven of Wands, and so the Five of Pentacles is a loss, and Seven of Wands is about kind of fighting the world, feeling like you're at odds with the rest of the world, feeling like you need to fight a battle against people who, like, almost against like this invisible force that you're just kind of like up against. Okay, so what is going on with this situation, Scorpio? How do we, okay, so and then we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, so for some of you guys, I do feel like the choice that you're going to make is not what you really want right now. So I think some of you, you know, your ideals are not your ideals. I guess it would be more like your morals. If you really don't want to compromise your morals, like, you are going to kind of walk away from the situation and do what's right. But I don't think it's going to be without some pain. It's not going to be without feeling like you have to give up a lot. And, you know, I do kind of feel like this is a choice that you have to make on your own. You have very solitary cards. You have cards that are kind of showing that you're going through this alone, and that, you know, people maybe don't realize what you're going through, and you're going to walk away, but it's not going to be without some kind of, you know, just, I guess regret's not the right word. It's just like a little pain and suffering, you know, like you are going to feel the weight of kind of giving up something that emotionally you thought that you did want. Okay, so, any last advice for Scorpio? We have Judgment. These cards do not want to agree with me today. And 8 of Wands. So I think that this is kind of a good way to wrap up your reading. I think that, you know, the cards are kind of saying that you need to follow your best judgment. You need to do what you think is right. That there is going to be a moment where you're going to be kind of proven like, okay, this is a good thing that I, you know, did what I thought was right. And 8 of Wands is always just kind of showing me that like the direction that the energy is going in is good. I don't think that you guys really know what your next move is after this. I think that, you know, there's a lot of like questions about what's going to come next, but I think you can kind of trust that you're moving in the right direction. And you know, the 8 of Wands is really like an indication to me that things are kind of going to line up. You had the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Wands, so you know, 8's a big number for you. It's a very magical number for you this month, but I do see like a total shift in the energies that you're going to be kind of dealing with towards the end of the month. I think that, you know, all of the heaviness, all the regret, all of the kind of wishing that things could be a different way is going to kind of clear out, and you are just going to kind of, you know, be out of that. The 9 of Swords is never a place where you want to be. That anxiety, that worry, that I think that you've been kind of dealing with now, or, you know, starting to deal with, you know, that's not a position that you want to be in forever. So I really think that it's good that, you know, you kind of have to know that your morals are there for a reason. They're never going to be easy, but I think that's like kind of who you are. You know that, you know, if you were to kind of betray yourself, you would feel a lot worse about it at the end of the day. And I think that, you know, kind of walking away from a situation that maybe isn't you is ultimately going to kind of prove to yourself that, like, you know, I can do this. I can be like the good person. I can be like, you know, everything that I thought it was. And in that respect, you will kind of raise your own vibration in just that knowing of like who you are and yourself, and that will kind of change the direction that the energy is flowing for you. I feel like self-doubt is like part of it. I feel like maybe some of you think that you can't accomplish whatever it is that you need to do. Like, I just think that you need to prove to yourself that you can do it. And by proving yourself that you can do it, you will, you know, completely shift the direction that you're moving in. You're going to see just rapid change kind of flow, like as soon as you kind of establish like what you believe in for yourself. Okay, Scorpio. So I feel like your reading, it feels very like Libra-ish almost. Like it didn't feel like very Scorpio. Like I feel like you guys, like, you know, it's very Scorpio to kind of be stuck in your emotions and kind of go down that deep trail. But I think like the energies that you've got going on right now are very like black and white. Like, it's very like, okay, I know this is wrong and this is right. And I think that some Scorpios, like, you guys are kind of known for manipulating situations in your favor. And I just think that this is so different because this is not a situation, like, it's like, even like, this is pretty black and white. I know what I need to do. I, need to be honest, whatever. And I kind of think that you're being like challenged to maybe do something out of the ordinary and, kind of do the right thing, and uh, it'll really alleviate whatever anxiety or worry or pain that you've been kind of holding on to for a long time. So I think that, like, you should do it. I think that you're going to need to challenge yourself a bit, but I think that that's what needs to happen right now. So lastly, I'm going to pull one oracle card for you, and it's pretty much just going to tell us what chakra you guys need to be working on to just bring yourself back into alignment this month. So what chakra needs to be worked on this month for Scorpio? Okay, so the card that we have for you guys is Quest, and this is for the throat chakra. And I'm just going to read the prompt to you guys about this card, just as a last kind of thought to bring home for the month of February. Okay. Navy combines the blue of communication with the darkness of the unknown, allowing us to discover the truth. There is bravery here and ability to face the truth head on. I love this deck because I feel like it hits the nail on the head every time. Inspiration. You may be on a quest that is unnecessary. Allow yourself the space for self-discovery. It is time to take a risk. Where in my life do I need to walk my talk? Okay, so I think that this card really does kind of hammer home the idea of being your best self and saying, or doing what you believe in, not just saying it, and I think that Spider also kind of talks about that acknowledgement of what are the words I'm looking for? Spider really is about putting in the hard work and about doing, the right thing, and even if you're not really getting the glory from it. So I think both of these kind of have like a similar message for you. And, I really do hope that this helps you, Scorpio. I don't think that this month is going to be particularly tumultuous or particularly, you don't have a very like heavy energy going on this month, but I do think that you are just going to kind of need to take a little weight off your shoulders, let yourself feel and then just move on. Just let it go and don't let it drag you down. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I will be back in March, so please subscribe if you'd like to see more. And in the meantime, I do offer personal readings on my Etsy, so you can find me there or find me on Facebook, Instagram. I would love to connect with you guys. So yeah, I will see you in my next video.